Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to do a follow-up by way of the video put out regarding banning people. Okay, and again, like always, again, as I start to move forward, I start to really talk through what the real problem is in the dog training world. And like always, the issue about giving people a voice on my YouTube channel, leaving comments, and I will do that. I'll open it up. But then what happens is, and this has happened again, is very quickly, okay? Because here's the point. When you're dealing with this type of issue where people have accepted, I call the big lie. I mean, I don't, mince words here. The reason the dog training world is in the state that it's in is because the majority of trainers are advocating this idea that training is a learning-based exercise once a relationship problem is underway between dogs and owners. So this sets up tremendous problems by way of a counterfeit picture within the framework of response. And again, I put out that question that's never been answered, okay, by any of these so-called experts as to what is the criteria they're using to establish that the perception of dogs are actually changing the way that they're assuming they are within the superficial framework of response. I say superficial because, again, I talk about, in the middle of a relationship problem, if you were to do, in terms of my parenting example, once a child has become selfish and the relationship problem is underway, if you were to do what these trainers are doing by way of just superficially motivating responses and then using that as your standard by way of change, well, you should expect the same type of disconnected result. You should expect the blame shifting. You should expect all of it. And that's exactly what's happening by way of dogs as social animals. I put it all out there. So, but here's the incredible thing. You look at and I talk about this. This is the reason why I'm at the point now where I'm not even, putting any sort of focus into certain individuals that are what they're doing. They're creating fake accounts, hiding behind fake accounts, engaging in just basically harassment on social media. These aren't happy individuals because, they don't want to confront what the real problem is, but they, at the same time, they want to go after anyone who's speaking truth as to what's happening. Because this is I said, from a Christian perspective, this is a stronghold. This is a spiritual issue. On top of that, these people are engaging in a type of idolatry. This is a very much self-focused stuff going on. This has been going on since the beginning. It's like the golden calf. And it's like, when you start to pull down that golden calf, that idol, you're messing with people's identity. That's why I wonder why people get so nasty. That's what's going on. This layers up. And so all to say that, moving forward, I've just had to ban a bunch of people, just the nastiness, because it's not about, again, confronting the real issues, just about coming in, trying to get nasty. And here's another thing that's incredible is that when I unbanned a bunch of people, I just said, let's just see how this goes for a bit. Well, guess what? A person showed up, and this just shows you. I've had this person that's like a troll, like way years ago. I'm talking like 12, 13 years ago. I put out my first book, and this person just leaving nasty comments, and so and every time I lift the ban, this person within like 5 minutes is leaving a whole bunch of nasty comments. It's just like, it's incredible. It's like these people, that's all their focus is on. It's not about the truth. It's not about advocating. It's not about confronting the real issue in the dog training world. This is just about a corrupt agenda. And look at it. And this is where, again, you go into Zach George's social media, just go track it. Just look at how, things are just degrading. And because my point is, if the truth is subjective, because that's what this big lie is based on, it's based on appearances. If the truth is subjective, well, guess what? Anything goes. And this is where we're at. Okay, this is the state of the dog training world. So all to say that my investment or my focus is on helping people who are wanting to know what the truth is. And so no one had to hold my hand or drag me towards it years ago. I wanted to know. And that again, so I'm looking for like-minded people. This system of training is about answering the questions as to what defines a process. And so the people out there who are not interested or turned over to this ideology, turned over to the big lie, my focus isn't on them. So all to say is I'm going to be, as I move forward, what I'm going to say is certain individuals that I've focused in on a little bit, you're not going to hear me talk about them, okay, moving forward, because my whole thing here is I'm putting out video content for people that want to know. And so my thing is, moving on. It's all there. You can go and do your research. You can look at the video content I put out. So I said this before about not hovering on certain individuals. So my hovering here lately on certain people, that's coming to an end. Okay. So, but because I continue to put out content, I continue to show, the right way. I continue to work with dogs. You see it all over on my YouTube channel. And so I'm here to help other people on that journey. Understand that's where my investment is on. So I'm going to be really starting to switch gears here a little bit. So if you don't hear me saying certain things about certain individuals, it's because some of it too is like once I have a conversation or debate or whatever you call it, that's kind of my wrapping things up moment for me. And if they don't want to have a discussion, that's fine too. But for me, it's about moving on because again, I'm just showing you that's why I'm going through balance training, force-free training, this type of permissive approach. It's all connected. The people that don't want to know, or these individuals, they're pandering to a certain audience because people are buying into what they have to say because they're telling these people what they want to hear, and they're just playing they're playing the game. And so I'm not part of the dog training world that way. I never have been. So here for me, in terms of just kind of keep my focus, managing all the craziness, there's things I'm going to be doing to do that. As I continue to put out information. And here's the thing, understand that all this stuff, like the responses from the dog training community that's happening right now, understand that I fully expect that. I don't expect anything different in terms of how they respond, the type of responses I'm getting, the type of the triggering that they're going on, because understand these individuals, they've already sold out to this stuff, okay? They're not going to offer refunds. They're not going to walk this back. We're at that place. The dog training world is in that state now. It's getting worse and worse and worse. So all these controversies I talk about, I talk about them in a way to show, hey, these are connected. These are symptomatic. These are opportunities for you as an individual to step back and ask the questions that these trainers never asked. They're not going to ask now because they're already marketing this ideology. They're making money off of it at the expense of dogs and owners. So they're not stopping. So they're not going to stop on their own. Okay. In fact, it's so bad, they feel like they're not accountable to anyone. This is how bad it's gotten at this level. Okay. You get like the majority of trainers out there doing this. So my focus is on dog owners that are looking for answers. If you really care about your dog, pay attention to the information I put out. My focus is on new trainers to help them on that journey. And my focus is on just putting out the right information so the public can make an informed decision. But for me, hovering and stuff, that's not going to be my focus here moving forward. So because it isn't about getting personal. These trainers, that's what they want to make it about. They want to get very personal. And I'm going to be shutting that down. And again, it's because it's information specific. Put out specific information. I put out the questions these trainers can't ask, and then again, let the public make their own decisions about it. But I would encourage you to look at the state of the dog training world. See, that's the amazing thing. These trainers, now see, that's the thing they don't want to talk about, is they don't want to face and confront what's going on, because that forces them to confront what they're doing, and they're not going to do it. So, and then they want to try to come after me for pointing that out. Just think about that, for pointing it out. I'm just pointing out the obvious. If I left the dog training world tomorrow, nothing would change. Understand that. So I'm putting out information. I'm showing these trainers, they're going after each other. I mean, they're just totally focused on social media, views, likes. That's all this is about. Popularity for all the wrong reasons. And they're playing all sides of the fence here. And I'm showing, no, there is truth. There is a process. Here it is. And this is why the dog training world is a mess. That's what it is. And people, there's no complaints. You shouldn't complain about it, because you can just connect the dots on your own. So again, I'll say that, yes, I'm going to control some of the individuals, what they have to say, because they aren't going to change. understand that they're putting out video content and look at it. There's a reason why they say things. There's a reason why they don't say things. There's a reason that they don't show certain things on their videos. They don't, because it's all scripted, and because they're playing the game. They're playing all sides of the fence here. So anyway, check out my YouTube channel. I just, in fact, made a bunch of videos public on my YouTube channel, so there's lots of great information. If you truly care about your dog and you want answers, contact me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. In terms of the dog training world itself, well, I encourage you to think about what's going on there as well, and what's going on social media. If you look at what the responses of these trainers, understand it's definitely a corrupt system, and these trainers, that's what they've done. They've embraced this big lie, and when you embrace a lie, guess what? There's consequences, and you're seeing those consequences bearing out right now in the dog training world. That's why you're seeing all the chaos, everything. It's all connected. Thanks for watching.